Today I'm going to show you how to edit your background image for the header using Paint. This information is best for people who don't have an editor or really don't know how to edit photos at all. So here's what we're going to do. If you're an accomplished editor, then this is going to be a little bit basic for you, but you might get some ideas, so maybe it's good. We're going to click here on Website Header, and that's going to have the website header. Now, if this is not your default header, the original one, if you've changed this, go ahead and restore the default image because we want this correctly sized image. Going to right click on this image and we're going to say save as or save depending on what your browser says, and we're going to click on the desktop and we're going to save it to the desktop. Once it's saved to the desktop, then we're going to go to the desktop, and there's the image I saved on the desktop. We're going to right click on that image and we're going to say edit or open with Paint, whichever one opens it in Paint. Once it's open in Paint, you'll notice that it's sort of thin and wide, and this is the format that we're going to have to use. Now, the original image is this one, and we don't want that because that's obviously Greenfield Faith Writers, which is the fake chapter that we created as an example. So let's get rid of all that. We're going to use Select All. And then we're going to, this move tool that we have, the little four-way arrow here, we're going to move tool it, and then we're going to press the delete button. That will give us a blank canvas. And then let's start with a base color, let's say yellow, and then we're going to use this tool right here, the fill with color, and we're going to fill it. Now we have a blank canvas with a nice color. Now, basically you can take any image you have, and I'm going to open up a web browser here, and I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to say Faith. Now you can't steal images off the web, but you can find images that other people have, and I'm going to show you an example of how to borrow an image. And this is not the correct way to do it, but if you do need to get an image from somewhere, sometimes you can do it. There's this image here. The tool that we're going to use to capture this image is called the Snipping tool, and I'm going to minimize this for a second, and I'm going to show you what the Snipping tool icon looks like. It's actually this tool right here called the Snipping tool, and it's under Tools and Accessories. I stick mine on my desktop so I have it. What we're going to do is we're going to open that Snipping tool, and it looks like this when it's open. And we're going to find that image that we had. We're going to get our Snipping tool, and we're going to say New. And we're going to select that image in the Snipping tool. And there it is. Now, you can also open up your pictures. For example, if you have a picture library, here's a picture I was using for a website. You can also snip pictures like this into it right from, and if you look, this is actually just the Windows Photo Viewer, right? So you can use your snippet tool to snip images. So if we were going to snip this image, we would say New, and we'd pick the part of the image that we wanted to snip, and there we have a snippet of that image. Now what we're really looking for is that Faith image. So we're going to grab that, which is this, and we're going to just snip it. Once we have it in our snipping tool, then we're going to hit this Copy tool right here. Copy. Then we're going to switch back over here to Paint, and we're going to go to this Paste button, and we're going to say Paste. And then we've basically pasted this into our image. Now the only thing to remember is that you can move this around and you can place it wherever you want it. You can make it a little bit bigger. You can even hang over the edge a little bit, if you can get it to do that. Right, so you can do that. So let's say that's what I want to have. The only thing to remember is once that you click off of that, it's not movable anymore. You can't move it. If you place it in the wrong place, you can hit Control-Z, but then you got to start over with pasting it in again. So try to get it right the first time, and then if you're not, you have to start over. So let's say that's where I want to place it, and I click off of it. Now it's stuck there. And I could get another image. Let's say I have another image in my snippet that I want to use. Let's say that image of those clouds. So I pull the cloud image back up. And I use my snipping tool to snip that image. I say new on my snipping tool. Get the cloud image. And I copy it. And I go back to my program and I hit paste. And I put that where I want it. Now let's say I want this to be the whole background here. So what I'll do is I'll just make it bigger. Now it's the whole background. And I click off of it. And now it's permanently there. Now let's say I want to put some text on there. We have a text tool. We can put some text. Well, actually that's a really bad color for putting it on there. Let's try black. And actually that is very small. Let's make that bigger. Our faith. Right? So then if you click off of that, of course it's locked and you can't move it again, so you can only make it disappear with Control Z. Once you have all of your image ready to go, then you hit this save button up here and just save it. And you'll notice that that saved it perfectly the right size and the right shape and the right everything. We go back to your Faith Writers website and you can just do upload new image. Remember that image was on our desktop, and so if you look on it, it's somewhere it's on the desktop. I don't want to look for it because my desktop is full of icons, but if we had it, we could just upload it here and it would replace this image. And that's all there is to editing a new image for your page. Now the thing to remember is that when you are editing this, if you upload an image and the old image is still there, remember that's probably a caching problem. You have to hit that refresh button, which you can't see, but it's right here, this refresh button. And that refresh button will refresh a bunch of times, and eventually you'll be able to see the image. If you can't see it, don't worry about it. The thing to do is to look at your admin page and go to this website header button, and if you see the correct image down here, but the wrong image up here, that's okay. That's all there is to it. It's very simple. If you have Photoshop or you have some other program like AVS for You, then you can edit it with a little bit more complex programming, but basically it's pretty simple.